Ask for the truth on behalf of Jay Singh concerning relationship issues, or maybe the lack of it at the minute. Jay just wants to know if he's going to get back with his girl. If he says his girl to get back with, of course, who knows? Is there going to be reconciliation in this this thing that's going on here? I ask for guidance and insight in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the truth always. Let me just cut the deck for you there, Jay. Let's just deal out 3 cards here. The first card we've got is in the position of the recent past. The next is in the position of the present, and then the immediate future. We just pop there, and that's roughly per time period between now and this time next month, whereas the recent past is a period of time roughly between now and this time last month here. So let's just see what's going on. We'll just pull out the first card there. I'll just flip it nice and slowly, not to disturb the energy, just to see what's been vibrating over the past 3 or 4 weeks or so. Notice there we've got the gate from the Treasury in this deck, as it's called, the Treasury, and the gate just indicates that literally that a barrier keeping you from your goal. There's been a barrier keeping you from your goal, basically, as if the door has just been slammed in your face. There's something in the way. But with a lot with the gate, you can go over it, under it, round it, or whatever. I don't know, through it. I suppose you can't go through it. It's locked, but it could be locked. I don't know. Depends if you've got the key to it. But putting that aside, a barrier keeping you from your goal, keeping you from what you want to do. There's just something in the way. I'm sort of sensing maybe somebody in the way. If you get what I mean, which to use an understatement doesn't help. Let's just see though what maybe is knocking around now, and more energy from the Treasury there. Looks as if the Treasury is advising a lot here. The hourglass, just indicating there that, as it says, time is of the essence. So of course a barrier has been keeping you from your goal, and time is now of the essence. In other words, something in the way, and you're working against the clock, literally there. You've got a limited amount of time to sort this out, or else. That's what I'm getting from it. But what happens around the corner? If this energy here is positive, beware of complacency. But if negative, nevertheless, it can be actually a positive thing in an ironic sense, because forewarned is forearmed. Let's just flip that energy there. It's a sort of bit in the middle-ish, isn't it, with the element of earth, just offering grounding, maybe, as he just advises there. Just utilise common sense, reason, logic. Pragmatism, I suppose, and just be sensible about it and be realistic about it. You're working against the clock now. If you do get it back, whatever, you got to be realistic about what happens after that, because maybe the last time you were living in a bit of a fantasy land, I don't know. But either way, whatever's going on here, I'm focusing on the Astro side of this, and maybe the Capricorn, the Taurus, or the Virgo, either one. But I want to say Capricorn, but maybe could be the Taurus. If Taurus doesn't get what he wants, he can be like a raging bull, literally. Talking about the Astro side of it, and whatever, I want to just see what may be on offer from an Astro perspective, what Astro energies are maybe surrounding this this issue at the moment. I'll just shuffle these Astro cards here, just to try and maybe maybe establish what we've got in the grand scheme of things. Maybe well, as you see there, we've got the moon in Cancer there, by the looks of it. Usually the moon is how you feel. It's usually locked onto feelings, isn't it? Belonging, a sense of belonging, maybe. Just really, it's focusing on a sensitive period of time, maybe. A sensitive introspective phase. That seems to be what that's locking onto, a sensitive introspective phase. Time to, as he says, with it being the moon is introspection anyway, isn't it? There, so there's a time to reflect. Maybe there's been a time to reflect. Maybe it's that's causing the barrier. Maybe the barrier is literally just the fact that you've got to, in order maybe to regroup in this relationship with whatever time you've got left now, because it's not really what you did then now. What you did then, you can't define yourself by what you did then, but certainly you can define yourself by what you're doing now. And now, use your time wisely, I suppose. Yes, there is time, but it's not an infinite number of time. Well, I'm sort of locking onto that, and I just sort of said Gemini, the twins, as I was locking on with it. Well, it's Cancer, isn't it? It's the constellation of Cancer, I suppose. But I was just thinking of the twins, like togetherness and things like that. Maybe that's the introspection. What you've got to, what you've got to just focus on what's going on. Did I really do that right? Or it's a bit like create an evaluation report for yourself. Did I do it right? I'm focusing on this picture of the water. Maybe the water is the emotional sort of side of it. Usually it can be emotional attachment or something like that, maybe. So whatever introspection there is will be there will be an emotional an attachment emotionally there to that. I want to just see now what else these astro energies offer up here. Again, more reflections, I suppose, to some degree with the moon in Pisces. Just wonder, really, just I suppose standing in awe and just following your dreams. Maybe that's all you can do, I suppose, with this introspective phase that you've just been through. Time is of the essence to follow your dreams. We are such stuff that dreams are made on, and our little lives are rounded by a sleep. But nevertheless, I suppose that's all you can do, just follow your dreams. If it is a dream and it is a fantasy and it isn't real, then you've got nothing to you're not gaining anything, but you've got nothing to lose by, I suppose, if there might be something at the end of it. But by being realistic, maybe by being realistic and growing up and saying, yeah, somebody's got to get a job or somebody's got to do something in order if we're going to live together. It's not working right, so let's all bugger off. I don't know. I don't know what avenue that is. That was just something off the cuff that went wrong. But nevertheless, let's just take a look here at the eclipse in Virgo, and an eclipse in Virgo, obviously, reorganisation in some way, shape, or form. Just as it says here, choose duties and responsibilities carefully, in the sense, get your priorities right, and it links up with that, doesn't it? Literally links up with the Earth. So maybe with the in this case it's in a lunar eclipse, isn't it? But with that in Virgo, yes, it is an earthly, so maybe the Virgo has something to do with it. Maybe she's a Virgo or something like that. Why I said that, I don't know. Well, it could be you. But either way, Virgo the Virgin, of course. Either way, it is just time for, as he said, introspection, following your dreams, in a not literal sense, and just really, just being realistic and getting your priorities right, and just choosing what's important and what isn't, and facing your responsibilities, because there will be responsibilities when you have to be pragmatic about things, realistic about things. There are responsibilities coming that you will be committing yourself to. Well, that's okay as long as I got me girl and as long as I got me bedtime or whatever you want to call it. But it's more than that, isn't it? We know that, and that's something that that we do have to consider as well. It's not all fun and frolic, is it? So with that, I'll leave that to that astro energy there. Maybe. Maybe I don't know. I'm just sort of tempted because I'm just curious more than anything to see what starseed energies there are knocking about, because as you know, you have to be a complete, as I always say, you have to be a complete and utter imbecilic moron to assume that we are the only ones here. And given the fact that we're not the only ones in the universe, as you know, maybe of course our souls can reincarnate elsewhere in the universe other than just on good old Earth that God created for us, because when we fucked Earth up, we're going to have to get out and we're going to have to find a way of travelling and finding somewhere else. Hopefully we will have killed ourselves off by then with bio war or nuclear war maybe, and served ourselves right for doing it. But for now, of course, if you're a starseed soul, I don't know what energies for that is vibrating there. Weight of the world, like as if maybe that's what it says. Maybe you just feel as if you're burdened in some way, so you just got to let go and just don't let the bastards grind you down, I suppose. Really, just let it go, and this I suppose not yours to carry. It's a burden you've got to. It's burdens, and it's just not yours to carry. This burden. Maybe by getting back together, the burden is the burden. What burden are you carrying? Maybe, yes, there are responsibilities to come. In that regard, there are responsibilities to come, and you've got to face up to them, as we know. But what if you're going to class it as a burden and not a pleasure? Then I don't know. Maybe that's why. I'm sort of sensing that could be why things broke down originally, because people thought they were being burdened, and it was more of a chore doing this together than a pleasure and a new sort of way of seeing things now. You know, first time you've done it in your life, not first time you've done it in your life, but you get one chance of that person. Maybe, I don't know. However, your star ancestors, something to do with your star ancestors, hidden secrets and things like that, and of course, there's a lot of wisdom. So just look at. Just look into it a little deeper. Don't judge a book by its cover, I suppose. Maybe discernment is there, but your star ancestors, of course, as we know, maybe they can speak to you if you pray to them. Their souls are as real as your soul is, and maybe by praying to your star ancestors, praying to you, to those higher beings, maybe they can help you through meditation, maybe, or whatever. So I'm sort of getting as though you get the pass the buck brigade, don't you? Somebody's looking for somebody to blame for why it happened, and maybe you are the one who feels that you are the one burdened with maybe a wrong thing that you did, and you're burdened with that, as opposed to just burdened with, oh God, responsibilities. I've not got to try and get a better paid job because we can't afford a house. Well, I've got to live in this shitty tent all the time, something daft like that. You got to be realistic and more pragmatic, face up to your responsibilities, follow your dreams, of course, and just pray to your ancestors, your star ancestors, of course, and maybe your burdens, the burdens that you're carrying now are not yours to carry. So maybe you feel as though you were taking on a lot of responsibilities, a lot of taking the blame for certain things that weren't your fault, and maybe by talking about that, being realistic about that, being pragmatic about it, maybe the pragmatism there, and just as being sensible, logic, reason, common sense, as it says there, then we can come to some agreement. I don't like to use the word compromise, because in the chess club, when you sort of drew it in a chess match or whatever, I always said with compromise comes conflict, and it just means you come second, or both of you come second, or nobody knows, and you have to refight the game or whatever, or retake the test or whatever. And I'm sort of getting that. So maybe communicating with your star ancestors, praying to maybe your spirit guide as a star being or something like that, or from another star system, or it doesn't matter where in the heavens they are, because they're omnipresent anyway. Our souls are omnipresent. So it maybe you've been sitting outside looking at the night sky or something like that. Maybe you're feeling a bit homesick or something, I don't know. It could be that. But of course, when we do consider our ancestors, and we honour the ancestors, of course, don't we? And we honour those who've gone before us. We never actually consider that some of those ancestors, if not most of them, are not from this star system. We all assume that we keep reincarnating on Earth from one thing to another, and from one living sentient being to another, and we don't, as you know. We can reincarnate anywhere in the universe. So if you are, as I say, a Zobian from the planet Zob, and you've reincarnated on Earth, then good luck to you. You bloody need it. But laughing and joking apart, there, the burdens, as it indicates, the burdens you're carrying now are not yours to carry, but you like to take the blame, or you liked to take the blame before it was over. Because then it made her feel better, maybe, and because as soon as you start blaming her, she didn't like being blamed for things. None of us do we really? But sometimes we can take it on the chin and say, yeah, okay, that's something else I'm to blame for, But either way, there's a window there on the pyramid. I'm sort of thinking about windows, or some sort of portal or whatever. Why I'm locking onto that, I honestly don't know. Maybe that's the way in. Maybe the tombs of those who've gone before us are the way in. Maybe for a lot it can be an exit out of hell, or can it be an entrance into a new beginning? It's up to you what you want. But the burdens aren't yours to carry. Introspection, yes, and of course, just I suppose, as we can say there, time is of the essence to sort this out, as it implies. So you've got time on the clock, but not much. It's running out, and the more we of course we rabbit on about it here, the more time you could be doing something else somewhere else. So we shall cast a dark shadow of supernatural truth over these cards that just for now, for you, Young J, have spoken.